Hey there, Chuck. I was just wondering if you knew where the materials that we were going to use for the meeting were? I see some of it in the documents here, but this isn't everything. Do you happen to have the rest of them? What the heck do you think you're doing messaging me at this time, huh? You think I climbed this high in the corporate ladder so that I could have some nobody bothering me after work hours? What materials are you even talking about? I am talking about the things that we need for the meeting that we're going to be having tomorrow. I thought that our department head assigned you to get those ready for tomorrow, didn't she? Oh, those documents. I think the ones that you're talking about, I know. I just figured that since the meeting isn't going to be until the afternoon, that I could wait until tomorrow morning to get the rest of them done. No, hold on a second. You were going to wait until tomorrow to get all those documents done? Don't you remember that we got the memo from the headquarters saying that they wanted to move the meeting from tomorrow afternoon to 10 in the morning? Wait, what? When was this? I don't remember any memo going out about changing the meeting time. But Chuck, you were the one that forwarded us all of that when it came through. Don't you remember doing that? Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? I don't remember anything of the sort. But you even told us that in the same email that you were gonna make the materials ahead of schedule and you were gonna get them done so that we can review them before the meeting. Did I really say that? I don't have the slightest memory about any of that. Well, there was even the bit in the memo where we could respond and that we had all seen it and marked them as read as well. But is this really true? I don't remember doing any of this at all. Chuck, you seriously need to go back to the office and finish up all these documents right away. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You're my subordinate. You should do it all. Hold on a minute, you're really gonna give me all the work just because you were leaving to do them at the last minute? That's right, I'm your boss and I have a right to distribute work as I see fit. So now it's your problem and not mine. Look, Chuck, I'm really sorry, but I've got to make materials for another meeting, so I have my hands full with that. If you're really making materials for one, then surely you should be able to handle making enough for two. It's hardly even more work for you at that point. Well, I just think that it's gonna take me a lot of time to get everything done in time. You really are a lazy guy, you know that. When I first heard that we were hiring someone with only a high school diploma, I was wondering what the higher-ups would be thinking. But now I see that my first impression of you was right. You have no idea what you're talking about at all, so let me make this very clear to you. You will do what I say when I say it. You know that you can't just treat the employees like this, right? I mean, you're not being fair at all. No, I am being more than fair right now. In fact, I'm giving you special training so that you'll become an even better employee. That is why you're gonna do the work that I give to you, and you're gonna be thankful for the opportunity to prove yourself to me. Anyways, I'm just getting home right now, so make sure you have everything done by tomorrow, got it? Chuck, wait, you can't do this! Hey, George, are you there? I just heard the big news. Is it true that you really got married? I had no idea that you were even dating anyone. Hello, Chuck. Are you wanting to know more about my marriage? Well, I just heard about it from the first time from someone in the office when we were in the break room together. I really didn't know that you were about to get married. Well, I was, and am now, I guess. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? Is it true that when you got married, you also bought a house at the same time? Actually, we haven't bought anything yet, but we are already talking about buying a home for the two of us, yes. Now that my wife and I are married, we have a lot of big decisions to make about our future. I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that some loser who can only have a high school diploma can afford to get married and is thinking about buying a house? You really have got some nerve, you know that? I mean, just who do you think you are? You think you're better than me or something? Here we go again. I just mean that if you're married, then your wife must be a bit of a weirdo too. If this lady thinks it's a good idea to marry someone in your position, then you're either lying to her, or there's something wrong with her too. Maybe you're just with her because she's all messed up and does crazy stuff in the bedroom. Is that why you two are married? Chuck, I don't care at all what you have to say to me. You can insult me and put me down all you want. But I draw the line at you saying anything that vulgar about my wife, do you understand me? Excuse me? Just who do you think you're talking to like that? You seriously have got some nerve. I just want to make something clear with you, Chuck. The reason that I wasn't able to go to college after I finished high school was because my dad died. My family didn't have the money to send me to college after that. I had to work to help take care of the rest of my family. So I really appreciate it if you would stop talking to me as if you know my life or what I've gone through before I got here, okay? Because not only is it rude, but it's also against the rules of how you can treat people in the office. As a department supervisor, you need to choose your words more carefully, and think about what the boss should and shouldn't be saying in the office. Just who in the world do you think you are, telling me how I can and can't talk in the office, huh? Do you think you're the boss around here? Who died and made you the compliance officer for the whole office? Well, I don't think that anyone died, but you are right that I have been selected as this year's compliance officer. Wait, are you serious? You're really the CEO for the office this year? That's right. Anyways, I got a meeting with our department heads to attend to and some clients, so I gotta leave now. Hold on just 1 second. Are you telling me that you're working directly with the department heads? But you can't just skip over me and work with her. What the heck is going on here? How is someone who doesn't even have a college degree like you doing this, huh? I want to be there too. You tell me where you all are right now. If you want to go look at the office schedule board, all this should already be written there in a very clear way to understand, manager. I'll be going straight home after this, however, so I really do have to get going right now. Hey, we're not through here! Don't you run away from me, I still have things I gotta ask you!
Hey there, George. I just wanted to let you know that I think you did a really great job today. It seems to me like you've been making some real great improvements ever since you started working there.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're saying that. And I certainly didn't expect to be treated to Lucy's cooking after we finished work.
Well, she was really hoping to get to do that with you, actually. I told her that we were going to be working together, and then you were going home after our meeting. But when I told her, she told me to invite you over for dinner instead. She was so excited that she told me that she was going to go out right away and buy something to cook for us to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. It really does mean so much to me.
Well, I'm not the one that you should be saying thanks to, you know?
You're right. Please tell Lucy how grateful I am for her thinking about me like that. Tell her the dinner was delicious.
Of course, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sorry to be asking you to work a little tomorrow even though it's Saturday.
You mean about seeing you off at the train station? I can do that, no problem. You wanted me to pick you up and take you over at about 8 in the morning, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, George, do you really live in a place like this? I really can't believe it. I was really surprised when you told me the company made you the compliance officer. I thought it meant that you were in there with some of the bigwigs here. And you have a place like this, too. I have to say that I'm actually just a bit impressed by this. I mean, I never would have guessed you to have a place like this, but it doesn't change the fact that you still don't even have a degree from a university. You're still a no one. You really must think that just because you have this job that you can try and get a leg up on everyone, huh? Well, just know that I'll never let you forget who you really are. Hey there, George, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a really great barbecue. I was gonna invite you to it as well, but I heard that you were going to be out of town doing something. Hello there, Chuck. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, actually. What is this about? Oh, I didn't tell ya. I was gonna be having a little barbecue party, and I was thinking of inviting you, but I guess you weren't here to be able to enjoy it. Well, yeah, I did have something to do this morning, but it's not like I'm out of town or anything like that. I'm actually already home right now. Oh man, this meat is good, and you're not gonna get to eat any of it. Okay. You enjoy that, I guess, Chuck. Hey George, you still there? I got something to tell you about right now, so answer me as soon as you get this message, okay? Hello again, Chuck? Yeah, I normally don't hear anything from you this often when it's the weekend, so what is it this time? Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I was having a barbecue at your house and there was a fire. Wait, what? A fire? You had a fire at your barbecue party? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm actually going home, but I was having the barbecue party at your house, so anyways, good luck putting that fire out. I'm gonna come back once the fire is put out to get all my supplies that I brought over, but you might want to deal with the fire going on in your lawn, bro. Hold on just 1 second, Chuck. Wait, you're telling me that you don't actually live in a house, like you live in an apartment? Yeah, I have an apartment room on the 3rd floor of my building, actually. So I'm not really sure what you mean when you say that you were having a barbecue at my house, much less my lawn. Hold on a second, what do you mean? Are you serious about all this? I am. Did you even bother calling the fire department about any of this? No, I was gonna leave it all to you, actually. Well, you better call them right now, because wherever you are, that isn't my house. Oh, Cecile, well, what an honor it is getting a message straight from you. It isn't every day that I hear from you. Please tell me what I can do for you. To what do I owe the honor?
I was just wanting to talk to you about this business with you, trying to start a fire at the house of one of our employees?
Oh, that, right, of course. Well, the one thing I was trying to do was pull a prank on George, and I think it went kind of a little wrong. He told me that I could have a barbecue at his house if I wanted to, but then he gave me the wrong address, so anyway, I ended up going to the wrong house, and I guess you know the rest from there.
Right, well, that so-called wrong house was actually my house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? That was your house?
That's right, it was my house, and I wouldn't have minded as much if there was just a little bit of damage. But the thing is that the fire spread to my prize-winning rose garden and completely destroyed it.
So, it really was your house then? You really mean that?
That's right. It was my house. And I just want you to know that I'm going over the damage that you've caused. Not only to the roses, but to my garden in general, as well as a tree that was designated as historic by the city. So just know that I'm going to be charging you for all of that.
You're really gonna make me pay for all that? Are you serious? How could you do this to me? You never told me the house that you were sending me to was Cecile's. I didn't send you anything, although I did hear from one of Cecile's neighbors that they weren't able to put out the fire in time, that they did remember talking to you. They told me that you told them that you had permission from Cecile to do what you were doing. You're honestly lucky that your fire didn't end up burning the whole house down, you know that? I mean, did you really do all that just because you thought that it was my house? But, I mean, you told me that, you just got married and had gotten a new house, so I thought that I would go and check out what the new house was that you were living in. And that's why I was saying that I was really surprised about your house. I had no idea how a little nobody like you could afford such an amazing place with a perfect yard like that! I see. So basically you're saying that you thought that Cecile's house was actually mine? But, I mean, I saw you go up to this house after you finished up with work the other day. So how is it that you don't live there? Are you talking about a couple of days ago, when I went home from work that day? That's right! I just happened to see your car while I was out, and so I got into mine, and I thought that I would follow you home so I could make fun of where you lived. And then when you arrived, there was some pretty lady that came outside to greet you, so I was sure that you must have been, where you were living with your wife. Well, I don't know what else to say, but that's not my house, and that is not where I live with my wife. But how can that be? What did I even see then? You do remember that I told you that I was talking with my wife about where we were gonna live, right? And I told you that we were still talking about where our house was gonna be. Did you really say that to me? I don't remember that at all. Are you sure that's what you told me about where you and your wife would be living? That's right. I'm sure that I told you that my wife and I hadn't decided on where we were gonna live yet. I'm sure that if you scroll up throughout our other conversations that you will say that I told you just that much as well. But then, I don't understand. Why were you going to Cecile's house then? Well, that would be because after I finished work the other day, I was invited there by Cecile, if you must know. And the other person who came out to greet me was actually Cecile's daughter, my wife. You're kidding me! That's right, so basically you thought that my mother-in-law's house was my house because my wife is still living there while we settled on a good place to move to. But then, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen now? That sounds like something that's gonna be settled between you and Cecile. In the end, Chuck was fired. Not only was his out-of-work conduct considered unacceptable, but HR acted on the many reports of his non-compliance with office rules that I made. I imagine that he was probably charged with some kind of mix of breaking and entering and arson, but I never really asked Cecile what she did after Chuck was fired. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
I used all of your $36,000 savings for Mom's surgery. What? What happened to your mother? She's been diagnosed with terminal cancer. It's infuriating. She's only 60. There is no God. That's worrisome, but what do you mean by my savings? We need money for the treatment. That may be true, but why would you use it without asking? How did you withdraw it? I transferred it to my account through online banking. The password is? I found it in the box under your drawer. You shouldn't take it without permission, right? Are you weighing life against money? I didn't say that, did I? You should have consulted me. You, a money grubber, wouldn't nod unless I did this, would you? What do you think of me? I'm going to save my mom's life. If that's the situation, I don't mind you using the money, but consult me in the future. You still have your savings from when you were single because of my earnings, right? It's practically my money. Don't act so high and mighty. What's with your tone? Isn't that too much? I'm distressed because my mom's life is at stake. You just keep blaming me. Don't you have any compassion? I'm sorry. I grew up with just my mom after losing my dad. It's natural to want her to live long, right? Yes, I want to visit your mother in the hospital too. No. Why not? My mom knows that I used your money. What would she think if you, the person who provided the money, showed up in her room? Well, maybe she would feel in debt. No, she'll think you're there to collect and her condition will worsen. I won't do that. I'm already full of guilt for what I did to you. If you show up with a "I lent you $36,000 look on your face, it won't help her recovery. But I think there are things that's easier to ask a woman to do, like bringing fresh clothes or doing laundry, and I want to be of help. You've already done enough. Absolutely do not contact her, neither by text nor by phone. Then let me prepare some gifts for her and you can bring them. I can allow that. I hope she gets better soon. You're so carefree. I didn't mean to be. I'm genuinely worried. You, who still have both parents alive, wouldn't understand my feelings. Daniel, don't stress yourself out too much, okay? I'll do anything I can to help. Then take on more work. It looks like her treatment will take longer. You can never have too much money. But I'm already working full-time. You have nights, don't you? How about a job in the entertainment industry? I've never done that before. You just make drink and sit around doing nothing. Even an idiot could do that job. I think it's a difficult job, you know. Do it. It might be a bit too much for me. Oh, so you're not going to help. Let's get a divorce then. Why does it come to that? There's no point in being together if we can't help each other. If it were your parents who were sick, I'd work around the clock to pay for treatment. Alright, I'll look for job listings. You can start immediately if it's just a trial, so go from today. That's impossible on such short notice. I need some mental preparation. I beg you. You are the only person I can rely on. I understand, but I'll be at the hospital for a while, and I don't need meals. Contact me when you've made some money. Okay. A job in the entertainment industry. I'm extremely introverted, and the last thing I want to do is customer service. I wonder if I can do this kind of night job. I'm Mia, 29 years old. I've been married to my husband for 3 years, but things haven't been going well lately. With his domineering attitude and volatile emotions, I've been feeling at my limit. But if this is due to his mother's illness, perhaps it was me who lacked understanding. Despite Daniel's strict prohibition, I was so worried about my mother-in-law that I sent her a message on text. However, it remains unread. Mustered up the courage to call, but the announcement that the number you have dialed is revealed that it was an unused number. Being avoided to the point of changing her number, I thought we had a good relationship. In hopes of reducing my husband's anxiety, I decided to try a shift at a cabaret club. Sorry, I went for a trial yesterday, but they told me they couldn't hire me. What? Perhaps because I was silent for too long, the customers lodged numerous complaints, and I was told to go home after only 2 hours. What are you doing? Are you really that incompetent? But I can't just start a high-energy conversation with a man I just met. It's impossible for me. You get paid even for a trial shift, right? How much? It was $36. What? That's not even enough for a kid's allowance. I'm good at programming, but this is a bit... You're really useless. It seems I'm not suited for this. I'll look for another part-time job. Forget it. I thought this might happen, so I found something for you. What? They'll pick you up, so leave the door open. I don't want to. It's scary. It's okay. You're good at massage, aren't you? I'm not especially good at it. You don't have to talk when you're massaging, so you can do it. Does that mean... It's up to you to provide any extra services, but your hourly wage might increase. No, I don't want to do something like that. What's a cabaret club dropout doing, acting so high and mighty? I chose my current job because I'm not good at interacting with people. There's no way someone who spends all day interacting with computers could work in a business that involves dealing with men. You're just not trying. Break out of your shell. I can't. If you go, I get a referral fee. Who are you dealing with? No matter how much money you need for my mother-in-law, you've lost your sense of judgment. Stop the nagging. Do as I say. No, I absolutely won't open the door. Then I'll have to drag you out. I'll be back soon, so wait for me. Stop it. The door is being pounded on. I'm scared. Help me. The noise will stop if you open it. I'll report you to the police. See what happens if I get arrested. My mother will be left alone. Who will pay for the treatment? Do you intend to let her die? That's not my intention, but I have to protect myself. Everything is for my mother. Money is less important than life, so stop complaining. This is going too far. Where the hell did you go? Yesterday the house was locked, but no one was inside. I jumped out and escaped. Just kidding. Someone helped me. Who is it? A man? Stop it. Just because you're cheating doesn't mean you have to suspect me too. I was scared by the loud knocking on the door and went out to the balcony, and the neighbor called out to me. When I briefly explained the situation, they told me to come over from the balcony. Damn, you escaped to the neighbors? We're close enough to share gifts from our parents and share with each other. You suddenly said not to have neighborhood interactions, so I kept quiet. It's the one on the right, isn't it? Yes, Mr. Wilson. Hey, his wife should be in the hospital now. So does that mean her husband helped you? That's right, but why do you know about his wife's hospitalization? No. I met Wilson's husband in the elevator and he said something like that. He said he hasn't told anyone, only their parents and I know. Oh, maybe it was just my imagination. I might have seen him at my mother's hospital. That's it, but I'm worried about your mother. That's right. She's having surgery again and it's costing a fortune. Oh, wait a second. There's someone who wants to talk to you. Who? I'm busy taking care of my mother. What are you doing? I didn't have surgery. Who? Your mother is in perfect health. Mom? Mia unusually called home last night. And when I talked to her, it turned out to be a huge mess. Listen to this. My phone was malfunctioning, so I asked you to fix it, but you unilaterally canceled it. We don't have Wi-Fi at home, so I can't use text, and I can't contact anyone, and I was in trouble. I thought the smartphone, the electromagnetic waves are not good for you, so I canceled it for your health. Nonsense! Who said I have cancer? Where am I terminal? It's your brain that's about to end, you idiot son! There's a reason for this. I'll explain it properly. I don't care about that. The fact is you lied. Instead of apologizing, you just make excuses. I don't remember raising such a son. It's really pathetic. Mom. I'll switch to Mia. Talking to you makes my fingers itch. Don't say that. You're probably wondering how I found out, huh? What's going on? I got help from our neighbor, and while talking, I found out that his wife was hospitalized. Ah, I see. Apparently, there's been a man who is not her husband visiting her room frequently. It seems this came from a nurse's gossip. Really? That man was you, wasn't it? That's impossible, right? The husband was letting you hang around to gather evidence. Did he know about this? I had my suspicions too. You used to at least greet me, but suddenly you told me not to talk to you anymore. I sensed something was off. I'm sorry, I've been having an affair with the wife next door. So you admit it. You used my $36,000 on that woman. What could I do? She doesn't have long to live. Her husband hesitates to provide her with the best medical care. I had no choice but to do something. You've been deceived, haven't you? Wait, what? The neighbor's wife is only hospitalized for a simple stomach ulcer and hemorrhoid surgery. That's not true. She has cancer, stage 4. Even if that were true, she has substantial insurance, so the cost of treatment isn't an issue. While in the hospital, she got hooked on online casinos because she was bored. She spent all the household savings on it, and now she's broke. Are you serious? So she can find you, her affair partner. She must have thought that she could squeeze money out of you if she said she had terminal cancer. That damn woman. You loved her, didn't you? Is it okay for you to speak about her like that? If it was just for money, it's a different story. Maybe the thrill of doing something dangerous between neighbors was fun. But an affair is an affair. The video of you two getting intimate in the hospital bed, the husband is apparently going to share it with me as well. Delete it immediately. What? After having an affair, what's with that attitude? You're suspicious too. You were together with the neighbor's husband late at night. We can guess what you were doing. You were having an affair too, weren't you? Don't group me with a piece of trash like you. I'm going to sue you too. It's no surprise that you're a suspect, going into a man's room. There was another person there, so nothing happened like you're imagining. Who was it? It was my mother-in-law. I was so scared of being found and taken away that my legs were shaking and I couldn't walk. I called my mother-in-law's house and she came to pick me up right away. I slept at my parents' house. Is there a problem with that? I thought you stayed overnight. Actually, I've followed you before. I wanted to find my mother-in-law's hospital room. What the hell are you doing? Then it turned out to be the neighbor's wife's room. For a moment I thought, what? But I still believed somewhere that she's a neighbor. And you might have just stopped by while visiting my mother-in-law. I also thought I shouldn't tell her husband and make a big fuss. But everything was revealed yesterday and I feel relieved. You're wrong. You know there's a difference between an affair and being serious, right? You had an affair and you were serious, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't go into debt to support her. Why did you? You're a diligent Yakuza. While you came to kidnap me from our apartment, you dropped a leaflet in the mailbox that said you lend money. Are they idiots? So my mother-in-law called them. She asked what relationship they had with you. You're lying. You tried to make me do shady work to pay back the debt. That's terrible. What can I do? The interest is mounting. You borrowed $140,000. I borrowed $36,000. The rest is interest. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Do what you want, but you're definitely giving me back my $36,000. Let's work hard together. What? Aren't a husband and wife supposed to support each other during tough times? Who put me in a painful situation? I thought it was good and I became a hostess, but I was scolded for being useless. Do you know how hard it was? I'm sorry, so let's start over. Go away. Don't say such a thing. Pay me compensation and disappear. Mia, even my mother-in-law says she's cutting ties with you. You can live your life being chased by the gangsters. Don't ever show your filthy face to us again. I don't want that. The woman next door was discharged from the hospital soon after, and when she returned home, her room was empty. Seeing the divorce papers and compensation claim on the table, she seemed to have realized everything. She was billed for $100,000 in compensation and misuse. And she's working at a cabaret club where I was turned out for an audition. She got the job. It's frustrating. Daniel borrowed money at a high interest rate again, paid me back my stolen savings and $57,000 in compensation, and submitted a letter of resignation to his company. And after that, he disappeared without a trace. A never-ending debt of nearly $220,000. I don't know much about that world, but I guess I'll never see him again in my life. I think my mother-in-law is sad about losing her son, but we occasionally go out to eat. I heard that the neighbor's husband started keeping a dog in his new apartment. There are hard times, but all you can do is move on. I'll keep looking forward and doing my best.